When do you start feeling old? It's a question I've been thinking about the last couple of days. My wife's just turned an age which I'm not going to reveal on this, but they were saying at their birthday dinner, "Oh, I feel old." And then obviously I said, well, try being me, because I'm 4 years older than them and a bit closer to the outcome we all kind of face. And it's something I get more and more aware of the older I get, and having lost some people who are important to me, like everybody in life, both old and young, it's made me more kind of conscious of life and time. But then my mother and father-in-law at the same time and said, well, try being us. And it really got me thinking about, obviously, like the fact that we lament age, and this is said from a position of health. So I'm not particularly achy, I'm not particularly sluggish, I'm in good health. And I'm very fortunate in that respect. But it's interesting how we all have different definitions of what old is, and also different thresholds for when essentially like we've lived a good life. So if you know someone like myself who lost someone in their 40s, I'm not far off the age they were when they passed away, and I feel very privileged to have discovered a lesson earlier in my life than maybe most would discover, which is essentially like it's a privilege to grow old. There are so many millions, tens of millions, billions of people in the history of humanity who haven't had a chance to have that kind of privilege, and all the things that come with it, good and bad. Again, said from a position of relative youth and good and health, where perhaps if I had a different kind of outlook or a different situation, it would be harder for me. But whenever people say, "Oh, I'm getting old," I'm like, "That's brilliant! Isn't that great? Isn't it great you get to say that? Isn't it a good thing that you're on this earth able to acknowledge what your age even is? For one, you've got to the point where you're no longer a child and you're aware of what age and kind of perhaps what your mortality is to an extent. But then isn't it great also that you've lived long enough to even be aware of that kind of concept? I don't know, I've been thinking a lot, and obviously someone turning another year older and another number on their date of birth getting further away from the date they started on, it's just something that kind of baffles me and I find really interesting at the same time. I've been playing Minecraft for how many years? God knows how many years now, since 2013. Am I an old player? Have I been playing it for a long time? Is that old in the game sense? We all have these different definitions, and I just think it's important to kind of assess them and think about them. And like I say, learn the lessons when they're looking right at you in your face. Privilege, it's a real privilege to kind of reach a certain age. Not everybody gets that fortune and that luck, and I think every time now anyone asks me about my age or my birthday or another year older, I'm like, yeah, that's wicked. I've made it for one. in this wild, chaotic world, it could not be the case. And good for me, and onward to the next one. And I've learned a lot of lessons, and I'll continue to learn. And again, the privilege of age teaches you many things. Yeah, so next time you think, am I getting old? You probably are, but isn't that an amazing thing? Till next time.